Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Heal Fries. My name is Carla. Thank you all so much for joining me here. I truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love and support and kindness to the channel. So if you are new, welcome. So honored to have you here, a part of this beautiful community. Today I wanted to talk about some messages that I received, some visions, and kind of do a little deep dive with these messages that I received, these visions, and because I really truly feel, number one, if you found this video, if you came across this video, there's no coincidences. There's absolutely no coincidences, and there's a message that will resonate for you in here, highly likely. So number one, you're going through a major transformation. When I say major, I'm talking about like completely change of life, like new era kind of energy. I feel like you're stepping into your true to yourself era. And this era that you're stepping into is in alignment with you, with your most authentic self and your creativity and the path where you've always kind of dreamt about. You've been manifesting this for so long that you haven't realized it. But there have been so many signs, synchronicities along your journey that have kind of pointed you in this direction all along. Now, number one of the visions that I got a few days ago while meditating was I saw this really beautiful body of water, and it had 3 different colors. It was like a dark blue, and then it was like a darkish greenish blue, like a green blue, and then the bottom part, the closest part, was turquoise. It was like a turquoise blue, like clear water. And then as the view like expanded outward, it showed these 2 glaciers, like icebergs, on the sides of this beautiful like ocean water. And so I became aware of like the glaciers. They were really highlighted within this beautiful, gorgeous water. And the glaciers represented transformation and change, and like even possibly like overcoming obstacles, like, you know, little obstacles that need to be overcame. Glaciers represent huge transformation. It is really connected to purity and to slow change and slow transformation, and like this divine timing in when it comes to transformation and change, that it has its time and place that transformation happens. It's, you know, not something that just happens instantly. So when you look at a glacier, you can see the surface, and usually the surface looks very calm. It looks very just like amazing, you know, it's calm, it's just beautiful. And then underneath, there's so much happening. So like on the surface, it could look like nothing's happening, but deep down underneath the surface, like there's change happening. There are things moving around, shifting, that you can't see. So, you know, trust in the timing, the timing of your life, the timing of when things are meant to happen for you. Because I truly feel like whatever is meant to happen for you will never pass you by anyways. Because at some point, you're going to feel the change. You're going to feel what needs to change. And your soul knows because you feel it, and you will be uncomfortable internally. And even in your environment, like if you need to leave and like move to a different house, a different location, you need to like exit out of, you know, whatever living situation you're in, you're gonna feel it within, and it's gonna irritate you, and you're going to want to get away. It's just going to keep being irritable, and you're going to feel that energy until you do something about it, until you make a change, because it's going to keep like nudging you and nudging you. This is kind of like similar to like a flower blooming. Okay, so I have these like beautiful flowers that I bought like a week ago, and so it was funny because when I was looking at it, one of the flowers, I think it's a lily, but I'm not sure. It looked like it was gonna bloom, and there was one that already did bloom, and this one looked like it was about to bloom. And for some reason, I just like went up to it and I was like, bloom, 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 baby, bloom. And obviously it didn't bloom, but I just like had this awareness of like it's so similar to the vision that I had with the glaciers, with the iceberg. Like, we can want something to change or transform. And, most times, like, we want that instant gratification of like, we want this to change. We want this to happen now, right? But everything has its divine timing and place. And just like flowers, they take time to grow. They take their time. They go through a process. And they bloom when they're ready to bloom. And there's so much beauty in that when it happens, and the whole process of it in itself is, beautiful, magical. And you kind of learn to appreciate the process, the time it took to get to that point, right? I mean, because if you can't appreciate that, and like you had certain things happen instantaneously, like you would never learn to appreciate what you have, right? There's like a journey in it, Well, also that tying into transformation, I also had this vision of, and this was the day after, I had this vision of like the front of a small plane, that like the helicopter, not the helicopter, the propellers of a front of a small plane. And so the propellers were highlighted. And so there was this message of transformation, but it was like kind of being uprooted. Like you're ready for takeoff. You're ready to go. Like it's go time. Like you're ready to step into your next timeline. You're ready. You're ready. And it did signify for me like major transformation, major changes, but I feel like the most highlighted part was the fact that you're ready. Like you're ready for takeoff. You're ready to go. And now is the time. Like now's the time for the change. Like your life is being uprooted. Like the old life, the old version of you is no longer, and you are stepping into this new timeline, this new era, this new chapter, season of your life. It's completely new. And there was just this like message of like trusting what you're receiving, trusting the process, trusting the steps you feel intuitively guided to take. And that could look different for so many of you, but you're gonna know, and your soul is gonna feel the direction that you need to go. And it is gonna require radical honesty, being so completely honest with yourself about your situation, about your current circumstances, and like what is not working, what is no longer in alignment for you, and what would put you in more alignment with who you are. And again, it's going to look so different for each of you. For some of you, it could be job related. It could be, you no longer resonate with the place that you're at, working. Like it's just, it doesn't feel good. It drains you. You want to do something else. Your soul wants you to be more creative and do something else that aligns with your creativity. For some of you, it could be a relationship where you feel you've outgrown this situation. And it just doesn't feel good to you. It doesn't feel good to you. It doesn't uplift you. It doesn't align with you, with what the person you are and where you are wanting to go. It's like you're being redirected. So be real honest with yourself, because this new timeline that you have the potential to step through, that you are on the precipice of, right? Walking through this new timeline, into this new timeline, it does require honesty. And if you can't be honest with what has to change, then you probably will miss this opportunity, this timeline, you know? And I say that with love, so much love, because as I'm sure you're aware, we have opportunities that come around sometimes. Sometimes it's like once in a lifetime opportunity. Sometimes it might seem like this had never come around before, and sometimes it might seem like, oh yeah, I've had this opportunity before to like be honest with myself, be honest with my situation, and make a change, you know, because I feel like it's like cycles. Like we go through you know, these cycles of like for change, where we have opportunities to make a change in our life, and it's up to us to make that change, to take a step forward, and you know, reclaim our life and claim responsibility for ourselves and our direction and where we are wanting to go, what we're wanting to experience. And our soul knows what it wants. And you know, I talk about this sometimes on my channel, but if you get in tuned with your soul, if you can create space to meditate and be consistent with meditation every single day, even if it's only for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you will become more in tune with your soul, and you can start receiving visions. You could open your third eye, literally open your third eye, and start receiving visions and messages about like your life, about your future, about what you want. Like your soul is going to show you what it wants, what aligns with you, and what's going to be like the best path forward. It's a really amazing, wild thing. We're all psychic. We all have this ability to tap in, to tune in, and to receive insight. So know that, and know and understand that you are psychic. You can receive the guidance. You definitely don't need to hear it from somebody else. But, you know, our soul knows what it wants, and our soul is always going to keep nudging us in the direction of where, you know, we really want to go, and where it's going to be the most expansive for us, because our soul craves expansion and, you know, like fluidity and, you know, change. And so just know that this timeline is going to require that honesty and that fluidity, the change, being able to be flexible with the changes that are going to need to be made. Also, I received this vision of, so this was like at 2 or 3 in the morning. This morning, I woke up at like 2 or 3, and I had this vision of a doorway. There was like a hallway, and there was a golden door with like full of golden light, and it was open. And so all I saw was like this golden light just shining from this door. And then I saw this electric like charge, like this electric charge of energy, and it was green. And I had this awareness of like this is going to be healing, and this is a doorway that needs to be stepped through. This is going to be very healing to go through this doorway. And then I saw this, it was like, I knew it was a man, but I couldn't see the face. But I saw like a tux, like a man in like a tux or like a suit. It was black and white. And then I saw a green heart glowing in the middle of this guy's chest. And So what was significant for me, what stood out for me, there was a couple messages that kind of came through of like following your heart is going to lead to um like fulfillment for you, for whatever that means. And it's going to be very healing. Like your heart, you're coming into union with your heart. So the whole tux and, like suit, I know that can sometimes resonate with like marriage, but it's just like a marriage of your soul, like a union with your heart, a union within your heart. And it's like your heart being activated and coming more online, becoming more in tune with your heart. You're following your heart. You're going through the doorway into following what feels good, following your heart. And another message that kind of popped up too was that some of you might experience, or maybe you already have experienced, a loss of somebody that you really love, like somebody passed on, crossed over, and that loss of that person is creating healing for your heart. And I know that seems like completely opposite of what you experience and what you could be experiencing, because when we go through grief and we go through pain, it feels like the opposite. We don't feel like we're healing. We feel like we're breaking inside. We feel like we're breaking down. Our heart is being like broken open. And that's what's happening, is like our heart heals through the breaking, through the intensity of emotion that we are feeling within. When we allow ourselves to feel those intense emotions that come through, that arise through us, they want to be felt. They want to be acknowledged and processed, released. It does create opening. It creates a space within you. And so that is what's happening when you experience profound grief. It is a deeper level of healing that is happening. And I actually did a video about this. It was a channeled message I received back in, I want to say, January of this year, 2026. I had this channeled message come through about grief. And so I quickly did a video on it when I had the time. And so if you want to watch that, and it could be very helpful for you if you're going through grief, or if you know somebody going through grief. But grief essentially is like bringing you a deeper level of healing, and it is actually up-leveling your life. But in regards to that vision, that was like a second message that I got, was like, because a suit could also be in resonance with a funeral. And like when you dress up, and you wear all black to a funeral. So it could be activating and healing your heart, going through that process, that doorway of, healing, and allowing yourself to feel the emotions to its fullness. And I know grief is a process. It's something that we go through, and there's really no time limit or time frame on it, because it is something that we have to fully experience and integrate, and it comes in waves. And so that's why there are times when we might feel certain intense emotions for a certain period of time, and then it goes away. And then we feel it again, it comes up again. And it's all for healing and to be fully felt in its entirety. So, if you are going through that, or, know somebody going through that, I'm sending you out a huge hug and so much love, because I know that it is the hardest thing, and there's no words that I could say that could make it better. But just know that it is bringing a tremendous, powerful healing, and it's healing your heart. And I also feel in some way, that the message, that vision that I got, another message could be like, somebody could activate your heart. Somebody could, like, somebody that enters your life, somebody new that you might have encountered or are going to encounter, could really activate your heart and open your heart way more than you've ever experienced. And that could be the, like, activation that you needed, that your soul needed, to be able to step through that doorway, to step into this new timeline, and to, and it's healing. And that's the thing, it's healing you, it's healing your heart, it's opening your heart, and giving you that activation to move forward, to move forward on your journey. And I know for some of you on here, you might have experienced, or felt, I should say, that there were certain changes that you've known for a long time that you've needed to make. Maybe you never had the confidence to make those changes in your life. Maybe you felt like where you are currently, that you were just settling for that you were just accepting whatever is, that was just going to be your life. And, again, maybe what is occurring for you now is that people are entering your life to kind of wake you up, to activate you, to, like, make you see the truth of reality, of what is possible, like infinite possibilities for your life, for your future. And, kind of maybe took the rose-colored glasses off, and that maybe you were kind of disillusioned, like you were living in this, like, delusion of reality that wasn't actually true. You were believing that you were only seeing life this way, or your life this way, and there's so much more out there. There's so much more possibilities, and, like, you could and can achieve your dreams, and, like, live your dream life, and experience life in the way that your soul really wants to. And I feel like now your heart is really, like, being activated. It's in your heart's calling for you, and you're following your heart. You're learning to trust your heart. You're learning to trust what you feel, because feeling is super intuitive. It's and I say feeling as in the feeling of, like, the knowing, the feeling within that you just know. It's your intuition, and it's guiding you, and it's coming from a good place, and you're learning to trust that, to follow that, and to allow it to take you to amazing, unbelievable places and experiences that you just maybe you never thought possible, or maybe you never thought that it would be this way. Because I feel like life is full of surprises, and you're constantly being surprised by the universe. I know that message kind of resonates for me, because I feel like I'm constantly being surprised by the universe. Like, today I went grocery shopping, and right when I walked in through the door, like, the cart that I always want to get was, like, right there for me. There was only one left, and I was just, like, so excited for that, and I was so thankful. And then when I stepped through the door, there was a song that was on in the store that reminded me of my grandma, and I instantly knew my grandma was with me, and just kind of telling me, like she's a part of, like, all of the amazing changes and experiences and all the things that are just happening in my world. And it was so comforting. And then after that song, that Winding Road song that I talked about in one of my videos a couple weeks ago, came on, and I never hear that song on the radio. So it was really, really weird. And I should say radio, but the store, wherever, I don't listen to the radio, but it's like I never hear that song. So the fact that it came on, so many signs, so many synchronicities in my own little world. I was smiling the entire time that I was shopping, and I know people were probably looking at me like, She is smiling so much, like grocery shopping. Like she's so excited to be grocery shopping. Like, good for her. It was just so, I don't know, it was just so joyful. It was like, it brought me so much comfort, so much reassurance and validation from the universe about my path forward and my own reality of things that are changing in my life, things that have to change, things that I am making changes for. So I hope that this message gave you introspection on the upcoming major changes in your life. I hope it helped you, hope it uplifted you, and gave you some validation, reassurance on what is going on. And of course, if it did, if it resonated, I hope you liked the video, share the video. I would appreciate that so, so, so much. But until next time, my friends, take very good care. I love you all so much. Bye for now.